everyone. Okay, raise your hand if you have ever seen a moose. Okay, raise your hand if you've seen a lion. Okay. Let's say we have a pretty biased group towards maybe some northern people in terms of seeing moose. But I want to have you picture in your mind a lion, your mother-in-law, and a moose. So I'm going to hopefully draw a picture that connects these three things. It may not be immediately obvious. Okay, so you step outside, especially in Kruger Park. I think it's easy to see that a lot of animals kill other animals to survive. So on average, how much meat do you think a lion eats per day? Here, give me a number.
2 kilos.
2 kilograms.
3.
3?
4.
5.
Okay. You guys are not very creative. Okay. Sorry. But on average, they eat about 5 to 10 kilos of meat per day, give or take. So you guys are close. But that's a lot when you think about it. But when you think about the amount of times they didn't kill an animal, this can be also really important. And this is something that's becoming more pressing in literature these days, in the scientific literature. And this is what I study for my PhD. But I want to take a step back from there. So I would argue that we don't have much that's dissimilar from wildlife. We need food, we need water, and we need shelter. So in your daily life, there might be some cases where your blood pressure rises a little bit. So places you don't like to go, but you kind of have to go. So these might instill some sort of fear into you. Some pretty benign things I can think of are going to the dentist, going to the doctor's office, standing up in front of a group of tourists learning science, or maybe, did I ever say your mother-in-law's house? That's what I wanted to end on, your mother-in-law's house. But what's something you can't live without?
Food. Food.
Food. What else? Some other ideas.
Water.
Wine. There we go. She can't live without wine. So you're in a town and the only liquor store is right next to your mother-in-law's house. So it's just fine that there's your mother-in-law's house, but you're forced to go there because it's the only liquor store that's available in town. So this is a daily trade-off that wildlife must take. So the risk of getting something you need at the risk of running into your mother-in-law who might ask you to do something you haven't wanted to do for months. So this landscape of things that you don't like or things that could kill you is a buzz term we call the landscape of fear in ecology. But I think it's something we can easily relate to, although the consequences might be a little different for wildlife outside the park here. So my study system is in Norway. Has anyone been to Norway? Woo! Yeah, this crowd. And moose are the largest member of the deer family. So we've heard a couple talks about moose. They're about the size of an eland, if I pronounced that correctly. And they're only plant eaters, so they need a lot of plants to survive. And we have similar issues, I would say, in Norway as you're having with elephants in South Africa. So the situation is in Norway is that forestry, or the sale of forestry products, is one of the primary industries. It's a multi-billion-dollar company or industry, and when moose go into the forest stand, they could potentially cause economic losses, both to an individual tree, to a whole forest stand, or maybe if you have a lot of moose, that whole valley has had a lot of browsing, and those stands could reduce their economic value. So this isn't just an interest for me as a scientist, but it's an interest for landowners who want to sell their trees, but it's also an interest for the moose hunters who want to shoot moose and then sell that game meat on the market. So I just started my PhD in the spring, so I don't have results to share, but what we would expect is that moose would navigate through this landscape of fear. And if we think about things that moose might be afraid of, it's kind of hard to think about what a moose thinks or feels. But when you look at what kills them, their number one predator is us. So 90% of moose mortality is from humans, and most of that is from hunting. And the next one is from wolves. We have wolves in a small part in Norway, and so I'm interested in how browsing, how moose move through this landscape, how they eat, how they spend their time, how that interacts with both us and wolves, which are their primary predators. So yeah, that's it. And so I hope it's a little bit clearer. So we have the lion, which is a predator, and you have your mother-in-law, who is some sort of predation risk, although I hope she isn't really a predation risk, and the moose, which is your prey. So, thank you.